Okay, so here's a 9 marker from the AS paper from Changing Places, and here it is. Name one qualitative source used to study your near place and evaluate its usefulness. So obviously we're doing Gosport because that's our near place, so you can't talk about Aleppo here, and we're weighing up how useful that source was. So we've been trying to get across this message of, can we do one paragraph for, yes it is useful, one paragraph against, no it isn't useful, and then a little conclusion to really evaluate both sides of the argument. That's what evaluate means. It means weigh up and come to a conclusion. So to get to level 2 on this one, guys, we need evaluation, and you're also going to need some kind of case study, so some real specific fact example that you've studied. And yeah, basically it just needs to be detailed as well. It's basic as level 1, clear as level 2, detailed as level 3, so there needs to be some element of detail. Okay, so here we go, here's paragraph 1. I've studied Gosport, Hampshire, and used a source called Gosport Nancy, a song by Bellowhead. On the one hand, the song was useful as it provided a historical perspective of Gosport. It is a sailor's shanty from the early 1900s, so it's also useful for giving outsiders perspective. In terms of history, quotes such as "She greets me when my ship gets into port" and sections referring to Gosport welcoming sailors show that it has naval heritage. The source helps us understand the outsider perspective. The sailors seem to think that Gosport is a party town. Gosport girls can drink for England, and when the music sets them flouncing, how they'll fling their skirts about. So they've quoted the figure there, which is really good. And even refers to prostitution and girls of Gosport hooking up with sailors, and is thus largely a negative representation of Gosport. But it does give a qualitative flavour of what the culture of the town was like, which could feed into modern culture. Second paragraph. On the other hand, it is less useful as it is a one-sided portrayal, only giving the sailor's perspective, who may have only visited for several days. They're certainly not insiders who truly know the place. The song is also more about their character Nancy, and therefore only implies things about Gosport rather than containing factual, direct references to the character of the place. Furthermore, no one knows the exact date or author of the song, and not being aware of their perspective or motives means the representation of Gosport may lack accuracy. In conclusion, the source was useful, but when paired with current census data and historical records, it adds to the overall understanding of Gosport, but it does have weaknesses in terms of its trustworthiness and one-sided representation of the area. So what's good about this then? So basically, let's go back to that marking again. For level 2, we need evaluation 2 sides of the argument. So they have done a yes, it is useful, but no, it's not useful. And the points they've made are really good. So it's balanced there, and then they've got lots of specific information about the qualitative source they've used here. So just very quickly, a few examples. So they've got their quotes. So they've quoted the song. They know these off by heart, and they've used them really well, which is fantastic. And then just the specific information about it. So we know it's a sailor's perspective. The song's about Nancy, so they know lots about the source they're talking about, and that comes across really clearly. So use that 2 paragraphs and a conclusion structure on your 9 markers to properly evaluate.